So hi, my name is Mexi Levi Lover, and today I'm recording a voice narration of what I'm going to be doing in order to color and create the character on the right side. This is an art trade with Shiinah Hime, and these are her characters, Miyaki and Mizaki and Kyoko. Kyoko is the character on the right who I haven't colored yet. I forgot to save my progress and record it actually for for Mizaki, who's on the left side with the red hair, but that's okay. I'll just walk you through the process of actually coloring Kyoko. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing line art over a sketch that I had made. And so you can see the sketch layer sort of, it's titled Sketchy on the left side. And right now I've just started the line art. I'm on a 3000 by 3000 pixel canvas, and I'm using a brush size 12. And it has actually certain settings because I wanted to make it more sketch-like. It has like crackled sidewalks plus like paper textures just to give it a more sort of sketchy look. And so yeah, I'm just coloring the eyes right now. You're gonna see me switch to the pen tool in just a little bit to do the eyelashes, but besides the eyelashes, everything here is going to be done with the brush tool for line arting. And since this is supposed to look sketchy, you're gonna, well, it's not exactly gonna be very clean. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this so that we can get through the line art and explain what I do after I finish the line art. Okay, so here you can see we finished the line art, and hopefully it wasn't too bad to follow. I actually forgot to add the eyebrows, and so I'm adding those now. You'll also notice that I actually did my line art in different layers. Like I have the skin in line art 2, I have the clothes on a separate layer, I have even the eyes, the eye line art is also on a separate layer, and we're going to talk about why I did that a little later, but it's just important to note that I did put like the eyes, hair, clothes, and skin all on different layers, and they're all in the folder titled Line Art 2. So right now you're going to see me do what's called clipping a layer to the base color. What you do is you select everything inside your line art, and then you create a new layer and you fill that with some color. I filled it with pink, and so now I have pink, um, like a pink sort of base color that's underneath all my line art. And I create a folder, and you can see it's called color 2, and that's where I'm going to put all my color. And we'll talk about why I did a base like pink in a little bit. So to color skin, I generally I just take the skin, color it the base color, then I use airbrush to color it like with a certain shade, and when I use airbrush I'll also add the blush to it, and I'll color a little bit of the neck. I will also focus on sort of like the sides of the arms with the airbrush and wherever I think a shadow should be. So for the legs, I always focus on the legs, and then directly below like the skirt or the shorts, I add a shadow there. After airbrush, I probably will later switch to, oh, I switched to a lighter color, by the way, to color over portions where I think should be lighter. I'll probably switch next to marker, and this is sort of where I add more of the finer shading. So I follow the lines of the hair and I add shading with the marker brush. It might be a little bit hard to see. Hopefully the quality gets better by the time I actually publish the movie. But yeah, and I keep switching from like a lighter color with a bigger marker pen or marker to like smaller marker size with even darker color. You'll see I'm going with like a pretty dark pink to add the shadows. And I don't know if I actually used a little bit of purple here, but sometimes I have a fondness of purple. So here it's just marker, once again following the shadows where I think they should be given where the shorts are. And so yes. And there's adding a darker pink. I went ahead and used the brush tool also. You can really use any tool you want to do skin. It's just I generally like to go from airbrush and then to either marker or brush to do the finer stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and skip through the rest of this because I think I pretty much explained all that I had to here. You can just see me adding extra shades. Okay, and I did forget to tell you that in addition to sort of shading the skin, I do add like little white dots using the airbrush on like a dark yellow set to a layer of luminosity. And you can see that on the left side, I have done what's called clipping a layer again, and I'm going to be explaining that pretty soon. So you can see skin plus a whole bunch of layers on top of the skin layer. So right now what I'm doing is I am coloring the hair, and I've decided to sort of color the hair over the skin. So you see the skin layer is down below, and right now I'm doing the hair base color. I always do base colors with pen. And so I'm just trying to line it, and I'm avoiding the skin. Right now you can see that I'm actually being pretty careless, and I'm fine if I color outside the lines when it comes to the very like outside of the line art. And you're going to see how clipping the layer is going to actually get rid of all those lines that fall outside of where our pink base layer is, if that makes sense. You'll see it eventually. I'll sort of explain it. Just in a little bit, pay attention on the left side to the layers, color, the folder color too. And if you look above, you see those three options: preserve opacity, clipping group, selection source. If you just saw me, I pressed clip group and suddenly there's nothing that shows up. Like there's no color that shows up outside of where our pink base layer was. And so that's why clipping layers is important. And that's why I'm going to provide you with a clipped unclipped just now, and that's why I'm going to provide you with an actual tutorial about how to clip layers, because I'm not very good in explaining it, and I feel if someone else has already explained it, that's fine. And so I create another layer above the hair. I'm using the pen tool again, and I'm going with a slightly darker shade, and I have clipped that layer to the hair layer, and this way I don't really have to be as like, I guess, careful. When you clip a layer, the layer below it basically deems where the color on the layer above will show up. So if I color anywhere outside of where the hair color is, anywhere outside of the dark brown, it doesn't matter because it won't show up. The layer 43 color won't show up anywhere outside of what has already been colored as the hair. And so that's why clipping layers is important. I'm going to skip through this. You're just going to see me go through this with a light color, sort of a slightly darker color than the hair with the pen tool, and then I'm going to go through with a second pen tool, and I'm going to add sort of a darker shadow to the hair, and I'll be mostly coloring sort of on the coloring wherever the layer 43 color is. You'll get it when you see it. And then after that, you'll see me add some sort of like just airbrush all over, and yeah, I think it'll be pretty self-explanatory, so I'll just let it go ahead and skip ahead. And as always, feel free to ask any questions in the comments.